What's up, everyone? King of Cobra 73 here, and I'm back with more College Football 26. Here with the Purdue Dynasty, we have another doubleheader with here today, and today we open Big Ten play here in Season 2. Last episode, we went against our rivals at Notre Dame, and we finally, I know it's just year 2, but we finally defeated Notre Dame after who knows how long. I think it's been like a decade. I looked it up last episode, I believe. I don't remember what I said before, but I believe it's probably been like a decade or so, maybe longer, maybe not as long. I don't know. But today we take on the Washington Huskies, who come in this game 2-2. They defeated us last year. They blew us out last year, so we're looking to get revenge here today. This time we're in our home stadium. They have a roster that's weaker than last year's, I believe. But I still think it's probably around the same as our team. So hopefully we can get things done here. Hopefully we can do some damage here. We can get this win. Purdue is finally ranked after the first time in who knows how long once again. We got ranked after defeating Notre Dame. We opened it today 3-0, and we're going against a team that is 2-2. And then we'll go against Maryland, who's also doing pretty okay for themselves. But right now, it is time for Big Ten play to start off for us. Washington's already played 2 Big Ten games. They lost 1, they won 1. While we're opening up Big Ten play. And as you can see, the tweet up there. Breaking news. Cameron Lacey has been suspended for this game for breaking team rules. It's interesting that was announced before the game. However, we will see how things go without Cam Lacey. And it's going to be Keenho's back to pass. And Keenho's first pass is batted away. And it brings up 2nd and 10. And Joyner gets about 6 yards on the play. Keenho's back to pass. Keenho's finds Denylon Moore, set for a first down. Good gain on the play. Last week, Keenho's went 15 for 20, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, no interceptions, and 1 touchdown rushing on 33 yards. Keenho's broke out the rushing game last week, and here's going to be Joyner. A couple cuts in the first down for Gabriel Joyner. But Keenho's broke out the run game last week, showing that he can get it down on the ground. That is going to be Nitro Tuggle, who's taking over in the slot. And that is a first down. It'll be Morset and McMillan on the outsides, Tuggle in the slot. Back to pass. That's going to be Luca Pusinelli, the tight end, for another catch. 2nd and 5 coming up. Purdue moving on their first drive of the game. Play action to Sperling. Keenho's back to pass, and Keenho's going to step up in the pocket. Keenho's has an open way to the end zone, and he'll go down at the 1. What a run for Leaking Keenho's. That's a first down for the Boilermakers there. Keenho's took that one himself. It'll bring up 1st and goal here. On the 1, it'll be a handoff to Lamar Sperling, and Sperling doesn't get in the end zone. I thought he got in there. It is now Joyner who's in. Handoff to Joyner. Joyner doesn't break the plane on that one. It's 3rd and 1. 3rd and goal on the 1-yard line. So it's essentially it's 3rd and 1. Joyner has it off, and Joyner in the end zone. That'd be a touchdown for the Boilermakers, and that'd give us a 7-0 lead here early. Coming out for quarterback is James McCauley, who had 374 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. McCauley in the backfield is joined by Jordan Marshall, number 23, and it's going to be a handoff. No, it's going to be play action, option run, excuse me. And McCauley only gets 2 on the play. Now in the backfield is Kirby Barrington. They like to use all of their running backs here in Washington. That's a quick little RPO to Rashad Williams, who is their best receiver. And he lost a yard on that one, 3rd and 8 now. Going deep, he has a man open. And look at that field closure. We were able to get there in time. Or that would have been a touchdown for sure for Washington. It is going to be Tuggle who takes the punt return still. He's still taking punt return duties even though he's playing in the slot. 1st and 10, ball on the 42, play action to Joyner. A quick throw to Nick McMillan. McMillan had to go up high for that one, and he was able to hold on to it. First and 10 now, and it's going to be Joyner up the middle of the field. Joyner gets about 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 2 on the play now. Keenholz back to pass. Keenholz quick pass off to Burnhen on that one. And the Boilermakers are trying to use their tight ends as much as they can, trying to show off that they can use their tight ends. And there's Burnhen again on a tight end screen. They like both of their tight ends. I do think they like Pusinelli more, but there goes Keenholz down. He goes. Javon Parker on the sack that time. And it'll bring up 4th down, and Purdue will add a field goal to this one. It'll be 10-0. Purdue up early. Washington back to pass. McCauley finding a receiver. No, dropped by Tobias Merriweather. Could have gone for a first down. It looked like he was breaking that first tackle. And down goes McCauley on the play. TJ Lindsey on a sack. Big loss there. Now to bring up 3rd and 19 for the Huskies. It is Barrington in the backfield with McCauley this time. McCauley has all day to throw. Looking for a man open. He throws that one away. He felt the pressure coming last minute. I think he had a man opening up deep. This goes Joyner breaking 1 tackle. Not able to break the second. Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6. Now on the field. There's going to be a quick screen on the RPO to Nitro Tuggle. Tuggle makes 1 movement. And Tuggle gets the first down. And that will bring Keenholz over 100 yards of the day. Early in the first quarter. Keenholz over 100 yards, and Keenholz he's having his way with this defense, carving them up. And we're ready to open the second quarter. 2nd and 7 now. Man in motion. It is a play action, and Keenholz ball is batted away. Keenholz back to pass. That's going to be caught by number 6, Armand Branch. I haven't seen much of Branch this year. And it'll bring up a 13-0 lead as that was 3rd down. There's Barrington now with a big gain on the play. First down, Washington. Back on the field is Jordan Marshall. They have 3 different running backs they like to use. Marshall, number 23, and here he goes up the middle of the field. Jordan Marshall gets about a gain of 4. He's still on his feet. Gain of 6 there with that extra push. Marshall wears number 23. He will be their main back. You have Corey Smith, who wears number 28, who I think is a nice complimentary speed back. And then you have Kirby Barrington, who does it all. Who can catch the ball out of the backfield, who can run up the middle of the field. Not really an east and south runner like that on it, and that is why he's taken down for a loss by Aiden Hubbard on the play. But Barrington, a good north and south runner, and can catch the ball out of the backfield. McCauley intercepted. McCauley should have ran that himself. Intercepted by Brian Nelson, and he was definitely past the line of scrimmage on that play. So it's going to be an illegal forward pass, but we're going to decline that penalty and take the interception. Brian Nelson with a pick on that one. I believe that's his 2nd of the year. Now it's Keenholz back to pass. Keenholz has a man open. That's Denylon Morset for the first down. Morset has come into his own recently, and I think Morset may have grounds for being our best receiver. And just like that, Washington has the ball again. Intercepted by Tariq Al-Uda. I believe I said that right. But intercepted, and Washington has a chance to try to get back in this ballgame. 3rd and 5. And he's going to be taken down by a host of Boilermakers. Hubbard gets there first. Seabrooks finishes it off. And that is another sack. 4th and 15 now for the Boilermaker, for the Huskies. I'm sorry. Like I said, Hubbard got there first. And then Seabrooks cleans it up, and if Seabrooks wasn't able to clean up, Madden was right there. Quick play action, quick pitch. And that's going to be a quick play. First down to Nitro Tuggle on the play. 1st and 10 coming up here. Purdue looking to move away. That's a high ball for Pusinelli. Pusinelli able to come down with it. And they bring up a first down. Joyner now has the ball. Joyner making a cut up the middle of the field. Gain of 7 on that one. Joyner does so many things that I am loving what he does, that I think he's the right back for this team. Yes, we know we wanted Merriweather last year, but Hubbard just oh goodness, what was that? Intercepted by Vincent Holmes on that one. Oh man, I think he was looking for Nick McMillan, and he just overthrew it. He threw it behind him, and it was intercepted. Oh man, that is a bummer right there. That is Keno's first multi-interception game this year, I believe. I may be wrong. That was a quick pass out to Kevin Green on that one. 3rd and 4 now coming up. He has his tight end, Decker McGrath, on that one. No, excuse me, that one was Ryan Auden. He has 2 tight ends that can catch the ball well. That's going to be 87 is Ryan Auden, 83 is Decker, 86, excuse me, is Decker McGrath, as McCauley runs that for a first down, 3rd and 4. And Washington is succeeding like they did last year. They're succeeding running the ball. And that is hit by Aiden Hubbard on the throw. They're succeeding running the ball, but when they try to pass, our corners are just covering really well. That's a quick screen to Nick McMillan. Nick McMillan, enough for the first down, 2nd and 10 now. Coming up for the Boilermakers. 13-0. Joyner up the middle of the field. Joyner making cuts. 10 carries for 55 yards thus far for Gabriel Joyner. Quick play there. Pusinelli looking, but Pusinelli drops that one. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd and 10. It's going to be Keno's jumping, taking up for the scramble. About a gain of 8 yards on that one. Keno's probably should have slid. Don't want our quarterback taking all the big hits. Though I think we have a backup quarterback that suffices. Keno's back to pass again. Keno's going to take this one himself again. Keno's calling his number, and he slides that time. And Coach Allstott will call a timeout here. He's trying to get more points before the half. 2nd and 1. Quick pass to Greg Burnham. That will stop the clock momentarily as Purdue hurries up back to the line. 1st and 10. And it's going to be a quick, oh, man, almost intercepted again. Man. But they're going to call pass interference on Leroy Bryant on that one. I'm not sure if I agree with that call, but we will take it. Keno's back to pass. Keno's looking left-hand side, and Keno's was looking for Morset on that one. He had tunnel vision for Morset, and that was almost intercepted. Dumping it down to Pusinelli, and that will be our last time out of the half. 12 seconds remaining in the half. Purdue trying to score before the half. Keno's making an adjustment at the line. Keno's middle of the field, and he gets the touchdown, finding Nitro Tuggle. I'm not sure if Tuggle broke the plane on that one. They're going to have to review it, but on the field it is called a touchdown. Nitro Tuggle, I think that's Nitro Tuggle's first touchdown of the year, or maybe his second. Let's see if he broke the plane on that one. From that angle, it looks like he may have. And his touchdown is confirmed good. So he did indeed break the plane. And we will go in the half up 20-0. Joyner having a good half so far. So is Keno's, Morset. I think all of our players are having good halves. It's going to take, Washington needs to get back to the running game, because that's when from what we've seen, that's where they gain their yardage. And you can see right there again, Tuggle did break the plane on that one. That's another angle for you right there. But Washington is moving the ball when they run the ball on us. And if they hit us on quick throws, they can move the ball. Let's see what they do on this second half. As we start second half, McCauley back to pass. McCauley has a man open underneath. I'm not sure if he's seen him too late. It is a gain of 6, but he probably could have gotten more. 2nd and 4 now coming up. McCauley back to pass. McCauley man underneath again. These quick throws is what's going to destroy us. Kevin Green on the first down. 1st and 10. McCauley back to pass. Ball on the 50. McCauley blitz. Did not see it coming. Damon Marable on a sack there. Marable has been playing excellent as well lately as well. And you love to see it. You love to see these players. Oh my goodness. Hubbard destroyed the running back. Yarborough comes up. There was nowhere to go on that option play. 3rd and 15. It's going to be a handoff to Barrington. And this is where Barrington succeeds. That's what I'm saying. East and West running. Not up the middle. He got some yards, not able to get breakaway fully. It is a punt, but it's, oh my goodness, Joyner fighting for those yards. Fighting Uda for those yards specifically. 2nd and 4. Quick pass out. Looking for Burnham. Not able to hit him. 3rd and 6 now. Coming up forward. The Boilermakers. Keenho's back to pass. Finds Morset quickly. And Denylon Morset gets the first down as Keenho's goes over 200 yards. That's going to be Lamar Sperling's first carry of the game. One of Lamar Sperling's first carry at least. Gets a couple yards on play. 3rd and 2. Quick little RPO, and that's Nick McMillan going for a big gain on the play. And Purdue is controlling this game. Keenho's quick throw. That's going to be Pusinelli. And now it is, what a takedown there. Washington getting Pusinelli down to the ground. He is not an easy man to tackle, I'll tell you that. Sperling able to get a couple yards on that one. 3rd and 1 coming up now for the Boilermakers. Hand off to Joyner. Joyner trying to make a quick cut. Joyner barely gets anything, but he gets enough on that play. It is 1st and 10 coming up for the Boilermakers. And that's a quick toss out to a quick pitch to Tuggle. Lost a 4 on that one. 3rd and 9 coming up now. And that's batted down. Looking for Tuggle on that one. And Purdue will add on 3. It is 23-0 now. And Washington's in trouble. Like, I'm not sure if Washington can keep running the ball, even though that's what's working. And now Jordan Marshall, the top back, is hurt. So in comes number 28, Corey Smith. And there you go, a quick throw, just like that. Tobias Merriweather gets their first down. 2nd and 9 coming up. Marshall back in the game. And it's going to be a keeper, a QB keeper there for McCauley. That was a designed quarterback run. McCauley back to pass. McCauley finds his tight end. DeGraff, excuse me. Marshall in the backfield. Hand off Marshall. Marshall up the middle of the field. Marshall has a big gain here, and that was their best run of the day. A gain of 25 there for Jordan Marshall on the play. He has 8 carries for 54 yards. And we enter the final quarter of this game. Purdue up big, 23-0. McCauley needs something big here on the play. There's Kevin Green on the play. And finally, Washington is entering the red zone on this one. 2nd and 4. Handoff Marshall. Marshall able to get the first down. And they are within 6 yards of the end zone. Will this be where Washington breaks even? Can Washington shatter that donut on the scoreboard? Marshall breaks a tackle of Thomas there, of Brian, and they get the touchdown there, and they're gonna go for 2 here. I'm not sure if this is smart. Hand off to Marshall, and Marshall gets in the end zone. 2-point conversion, 23-8 now, as Purdue is up. It's gonna be Keenho's back to pass. Keenho's finds a man open in the middle of the field. That's gonna be quick throw to D9 Morset. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Boilermakers. 9 minutes remaining in the game. 3rd and 4. He finds Nick McMillan for the first down. Quick handoff there to running back Joyner. 3rd and 11 coming up here on the play. Purdue wants to keep moving the ball. Quick screen out to Joyner. Joyner following blocks. Joyner able to accelerate quick enough to get the first down. 3rd and 15 coming up. Keenho's back to pass. Keenho's has a man open right there at the line. And it's a cut. And they're going to go for it here. Purdue's going for the kill shot here. Purdue wants to end the game. Hand off Joyner. Joyner not able to get the first down. And Joyner, just a little stinger on that one. 3rd and 3. Still where we're at. The ball has not really advanced that much. Washington moving the ball. McCauley looking to throw, and it is deflected by Brian Nelson on that one. 4th and 3. I think if McCauley kept the ball, if he kept running, he would have had the first down. And Damon Marable knocks the ball out. And you can see that Joyner is hurting in this one. Joyner stepped off the field for a stinger. He's going to keep the ball in his hands and get the first down here. But now they're going to substitute Lamar Sperling here for Joyner. 2nd and inches. Sperling just needs a few first downs. We can get a few first downs. This game is over. Sperling has the ball. Sperling gets the first down and a lot more. 1st and 10 for the Boilermakers. And look at this. They have wide receiver Corey Smith out at running back. Smith taking the wide receiver screen. Smith with a quick cut. And you know Washington was not ready for that. And it's a quick RPO and touchdown. The nylon more set in this game. If it wasn't over already, it's definitely over now. There's the dagger that Washington did not need. And Purdue will go up 30-8 here. The only thing Washington can do is score a touchdown real quick and try to get another 2-point conversion. 3rd and 10, excuse me. McCauley intercepted. Vicari Swain on that one, and that will do it. Washington goes down 30-7. Keno's 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that is a Washington win there. And that's exactly what you want to see. You want your team, you just got ranked. You want to go down in your home stadium, blow out the inferior team, which we did. And we picked up a good win here. I am actually very happy with how our team played. Morset, 7 catches, 63 yards. Tuggle, 6 catches for 70 yards. McMillan, 5 catches for 67 yards. Cam Lacey was suspended for this game due to breaking team rules. But the way the ball was spread out, I'm impressed. And I think Coach also was impressed too, because it looks like the game for Maryland, Lacey will not be suspended. He will play. However, it will be the same starting 3 receivers. Lacey has lost his starting position to Denylon Morset, and Coach wants to keep Tuggle in the slot. He wants to use Tuggle's speed. So that is very interesting to try to see how things will go from there. McCauley, 2 interceptions in this one. Not the best. And I really do feel like, even though it doesn't show here, I feel like if they kept running the ball, they could have done a lot more. McCauley was running the ball really well when he would keep the ball and run. I just felt like if they did more running, things could have been better for them. But I'm not their coach. I don't control what they do. So after the 30-8 victory, we have another Big Ten test. And that will be against the Maryland Terrapins. As we look at their roster, they are led by sophomore quarterback Malik Washington, who has a very high upside. They are very excited for him, and they are 3-1 coming into this game. This should be a tough game. They have lost 1 game in the Big Ten, while we've won 1 game in the Big Ten. But again, just like Washington, I see some holes in our offensive line that we may be able to exploit. I think we are the better team. They may be 3-1. I think we're a better team. I think we're more equal with Washington than we are Maryland. We have the same overall as Maryland. As a matter of fact, we have the same exact stats as Maryland. But I really do feel like this will work better for us. Like this guy, I think this matchup is better for us, as we are coming in 4-0 and we go from 22 to number 19 in the nation. And here we go. Another home game. Purdue has I don't know how this goes. They have all these home games in a row, and then you have a whole bunch of away games in a row. Not a fan of it. But here we go. Keen host. out of the gun. It's going to be a hand off to Joyner. Joyner gain of 4 on the play. And here comes McMillan on the... That was McMillan coming, but it was a handoff to Joyner anyway. McMillan looked like he was coming for a reverse or a quick pitch. There's Nick McMillan on the first down, and he will get the first down for the Boilermakers. Excuse me. It is going to be a handoff right up the middle of the field here for Gabriel Joyner. Keenholz back to pass. Keenholz looking, and he finds Nitro Tuggle on that one for a first down. I will say Maryland's defense is playing us tough. They're playing us tight. Keenholz back to pass. Keenholz has a completed pass to Nick McMillan. That one was kind of low. Nick McMillan able to keep it in his hand and it brings us 2nd and inches. Joyner up the middle of the field for a quick first down. Yeah, Maryland is playing us tight on defense. Keenholz back to pass. That's kind of high for Morset. Morset able to catch it. And Morset gets the first down for the Boilermakers. Keenholz back to pass again. There's another tight end screen. They experimented with it last week in their 38 victory over Washington. This time, not so well. 3rd and 8. And it looks like there's a receiver, Corey Washington, on the play. Corey Smith, excuse me. And no Cameron Lacey. That would have been the Cameron Lacey spot. Going for the 4th down. Joyner rumbling and getting a first down. Fighting for some yards there. 2nd and goal. Now, Keenholz handed off to Joyner. Joyner down at the 1. 3rd and goal for the Boilermakers. Ball on the 1. Hand off to Joyner once again. And this time he gets in the end zone. Touchdown, Purdue. And Purdue will get out to a 7-0 lead. And look at Malik Washington's stats so far. 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Malik Washington, like I said, they're excited for him. And he definitely has a lot of upside. Quick throw there on the play. And a loss of 2 for the Terrapins. Malik Washington back to throw. Back. That's where Malik Washington has his issues. He still has some accuracy in the medium and the deep game. But he can get you short. That was a beautiful played ball from our defense. That one was batted away. And that forces Maryland to go 3 and out. And they're punting the Nitro Tuggle on this one. Tuggle makes a cut. And they bring out our offense once again. 1st and 10. Handoff. Joyner up the middle of the field. Joyner not able to get much going. Nowhere on that one. 2nd and 10 now. And it is Sperling on the play. Sperling makes a cut. And Sperling gets 5 on that one. 3rd and 5. It is a quick. Another RPO. Nick McMillan. Nick McMillan making moves. McMillan with a first down here. And there's Corey Smith. They showed this last week. Corey Smith in at running back. And Maryland was ready for it. They said, nuh-uh, we saw that last week in the film. And they're doing it again. Corey Smith back in the backfield. And it's another play to Corey Smith. And Maryland's all over it once again. A loss of 1 on the play. Coach Allstott, I'm not sure about that one going the same play twice, showing them the same look in a row twice. And it is a 7-0 game here at the end of 1. 2nd and 6 at the start of the 2nd quarter. That's a handoff to the running back. That is Jaron Humphrey on the carry. 3rd and 6 now. It is Josiah McLaurin on the play. And McLaurin, he is one of those do-it-all running backs. He can catch the ball. He can run it. And that's a first down for Maryland. That'll be the tight end, Leon Houghton. And that is another carry for Jaron Humphrey on the play. 2nd and 11 coming up. Malik Washington loading up. Did you see that wind up? And this is what I mean. If they were better catching the ball or doing anything with the ball, they'd be great. Look at this. Humphrey deep. Incomplete. I think if we didn't have good outside corners like we do in Brian Nelson and Vakari Swain, one of those plays would have been a touchdown. If this was last year's team, one of those plays would have been a touchdown. because we didn't have the best. D now line. Morset breaks one tackle. Morset going left-hand side. Morset caught that one in the middle of the field. Break one tackle. And Morset was looking for the end zone on that one. But if we had the same corners we did last year, if we had the same defense we had last year, which we had a good defense, don't forget we had a good defense last year. But there were times where we got unlucky. I feel like that was one of those times. Luca Pusinelli right on the middle of the field, ball down on the 2 for this one. First and goal coming up for the Boilermakers. Quick toss out and caught there. Corey Smith on the touchdown. Is this a complete benching for Cameron Lacey? Is there more behind the scenes we're not hearing? I know Corey Smith. I hear about practice all the time. Corey Smith has been killing it at practice lately. I know that. But Corey Smith is in the kill. Oh my goodness, what a run there. First down for Jaron Humphrey on that one. And it's going to be a quick handoff to Humphrey again. No gain on that one. Damon Marable on the tackle. 3rd and 8 now. Coming up for the Terrapins. Malik Washington making adjustments at the line. Out of the gun. Humphrey to his right. Malik Washington back to pass. Malik Washington going to keep this one. No, he's going to throw it deep again. Batted away by Vicari Swain. And again, if these teams were watching film on us, Malik Washington had the field open. He could have ran for the first down, but instead he chose to hold it and throw the ball, just chuck it deep as far as he can. He is a true sophomore. He is going to get better with age only. Joyner up the middle of the field, gain of 1 on that one. He's only going to get better. I really like what they have in Malik Washington. I think he would be great. Beautiful play there. The Nitro Tuggle tight window throw there, and Tuggle comes out with the play. Keenholz back to pass. Keenholz looking to step up in the pocket. Keenholz does step up in the pocket. Keenholz gets 9 on that one. 2nd and 1 coming up in play. It is Joyner right next to him in the backfield. There's going to be a handoff to Joyner. Joyner looking left-hand side. Joyner breaks off with 1. Joyner gets a first down and more for the Boilermakers. Joyner having himself a great year so far. And I think we have a good one, guys. I really do. He might be the one to break records for us. And that is a touchdown there. Nitro Tuggle does it again. Nitro Tuggle up the middle of the field, and Nitro Tuggle sticks the ball out just enough to break the plane. See that in live action, and Purdue is up 21-0. And down goes Malik Washington. Seabrooks on the and now to bring up halftime. That is how it ends. 21-0 at the half, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of this. Like this is actually surprising, to be honest, how Purdue is just blowing these teams out from the past 2 weeks. We saw the blowout of Washington. We're now seeing the blowout of Maryland, who's a good team. Maryland is a good team. And next week, we have Wisconsin, which is where our quarterback last year, Ryan Brown, went. But if you're keeping up with Wisconsin is starting their redshirt freshman. What a play there. That is caught by J.R. Pascal. He is a true sophomore for them as well. And a true freshman for them. Ran up the middle for Josiah McLaurin on that one. McLaurin to the left-hand side. Hand off McLaurin. McLaurin has some room open. A gain of 8 on the play. And again, if teams ran on us more, we have our days where we run the ball really well, and we have our days where we don't run the ball really well. First down by Leon Houghton on the play. Good play there. Oh, goodness. That one was batted away. That was a collision course right there between our corners and safety. Blocked! Oh, my goodness. That kick was blocked, and there would be a huge goose egg on the field still on the scoreboard for Maryland. Don't see much of those. I believe that was Hines who blocked it, too. Good run for the good run from Jordan on that play. 3rd and 5 coming up, and there's going to be Nitro Tuggle on the play. Tuggle gets 6 catches for 76 yards thus far. Tuggle having himself a day thus far. And no goodness, if Keenholz didn't miss that one, Morset would have been in the end zone. Quick play, Tuggle. Another good play from Tuggle. These quick throws to Tuggle while working out. Keenholz back to pass. Keenholz has a man open underneath. There's going to be Nick McMillan. Nick McMillan fighting for yards. Nick McMillan down at the 2. And it is 1st and goal. There's going to be a handoff to Joyner. And Joyner in the end zone. Touchdown, Purdue. Gabriel Joyner having himself a day and having himself a good season. Joyner, if he stays like this, he can get he might get 1,000 yards this year, 1,000 yards next year, and then we can see where he is in the record books next to Coach Allstott. And batted away by Brian Nelson, which will bring up 4th down, and it'll force Maryland to punt as Jordan gets the 1st down. 3rd and 4 now. Coming up for the Boilermakers. A quick RPO. There's Nitro Tuggle. Tuggle making a spin move. Tuggle fighting for yards. Tuggle really wants his 100-yard day. 28-0. Keenholz back to pass. Keenholz finds Nick McMillan. 255 yards. 2 touchdowns for Keenholz. Quick play. That's going to be the Nylon Morset. They scored on that same play last week, and that will be 35-0. Morset taking a bow, and I think it's time that our backups come in. Our backup offense, give the starting defense one more drive. Good play there. Matter of fact, I think we should bring our backup defense in. I think our backups are in, actually. Quick throw there to the tight end. No, that's the wide receiver, Ryan Manning, on that one. Ryan Manning with a big play, and that is a touchdown for Maryland on our backups. They scored on our backups. It's fine. Cam Dyer now in. Cameron Dyer throws one quick to Armand Branch, not able to be completed. And they put in their backups too, because they can see that it's clearly over. This is Grant Cutler on the play, and the running back is DeJuan Williams. That is a completed pass for a couple yards there. 2nd and 6 coming up. Cutler back to pass. Cutler looking in the middle of the field. Cutler, and that is a weird number for a tight end. That is Kellen McConnell, number 53. He's a tight end, built like an offensive lineman. And there's Cutler going down with the sack. T.J. Lindsey, who should not be on the field because he is a starter on offense, but I just didn't adjust the line properly. So since he is technically 2nd string and we took him out, it's not always right, but it is fine. That one's gonna be batted away there, and this is just, hey, this is how the game went. 35-7. Cutler back to pass. Cutler looking deep. Has a man not open, and that is batted away again. Cam Dyer, and you can see on the field, Lacey's in. And there's Lacey's first catch in, 2 weeks? 2 weeks, that's Lacey's first catch. 3rd and 7 now coming up. Quick play out, and that's going to be Nitro Tuggle on the play. And I think that one right there gets Tuggle over 100. I'm not sure. We will continue to monitor and see. There's Cameron Lacey, and this is where I'm like, this is unfair because Lacey's like a starter playing against backups. Lacey back to pass. No, excuse me. Lacey was in on that one, but that is a fantastic catch by Armand Branch on that one. Cam Dyer threw a dot in the back of the end zone in a perfect spot for Armand Branch. Like, look at this. On the throw, on the move. Perfect pass for Armand Branch. And that is going to be Lacey's first passing touchdown of the year. Intercepted. Damon Marable. And Marable just ended the game. Marable wants to take it all the way back, but he's not going to be able to on this one. Damon Marable is playing excellent, folks. Again, he's a starter that's playing with backups. It's been amazing. Lincoln Keenholz played the game, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. We've had a great season thus far, and we extend our undefeated streak to what, 5-0. Wisconsin's next. I think Wisconsin's going to be tough. They're not having the best year, but I think they'll be tough. Like I said, they are starting their own redshirt freshman Carter Smith. We'll see how things go next week, as we will be playing Wisconsin, and then we have a big one against UCLA, who is also just destroying teams in the Big Ten. I think UCLA might be undefeated as well. I'm not too sure. UCLA, they may have a loss. We'll see when we get there. But that's where we are. Nitro Togo did not get to 100 yards. I thought he did on that last one. 2 yards away. 8 catches for 98 yards. 71 yards for Nick McMillan. 59 yards for Morset. I really like these 3 receivers. I'm going to keep going with it. And I like using Corey Smith. So we're going to keep going with how we got things set up. Okay? That's just what we're going to do. We're just going to keep going with how things set up. Things are set up perfect for us and everything. And we really like what we got going for this season. So next episode will be against Wisconsin. It will be the toughest game of the year thus far against UCLA. I think Wisconsin's going to be tough. Wisconsin's going to play us tough. They always have a good running game. I think that's where our luck runs out with these teams not running the ball. Because there's been ample opportunity for teams to run the ball on us, and they're just not running it. Like, you could see it. Like, these teams running the ball on us, oh, it's successful, and then it's not. So, I think our luck runs out against Wisconsin, because Wisconsin historically is a running team. We'll see. So, next episode, we'll take on Wisconsin, and we'll take on Notre Dame. We'll try to get these games out faster for y'all. I've been handling personal stuff, been working. I didn't mean for this to be a month out, because I've had this episode ready. I just hadn't commentated on it. So, really hopefully we can get this Wisconsin game and UCLA game out to you quicker. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe for more Purdue Dynasty. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.